Hey, everybody, it's your girl, Kimberly Eichelle, and welcome to another episode of Talented Thursdays. I'm so happy that you all are here tonight. So come on in, bring a friend. You all know that I have someone special for you again this week, right? So let me first just say thank you to all of you who are watching on Instagram, on Facebook, or on YouTube. I definitely appreciate you. I mean, the feedback for the last few weeks has been amazing. So I want you to know, like Tupac said, you are appreciated. You all are appreciated. Thank you so much. Now, for those of you who may not know, because this is your first time tuning in, you can also listen to Talented Thursdays on Vegas Praise Radio. Now, you're going to say, Kimberly, how can I listen to Vegas Praise Radio? Well, you can download the app in whatever your Play Store is. I'm an Android girl. We're not gonna get into the debate tonight. Androids are solid, they're great, and that's that. Anyway, with that being said, come on in. Make sure that you are dropping where you're watching from in the comments. Now, let me tell y'all, this week has been it's been a lot, but it's Thursday, y'all. I'm excited. Let me tell you what's been going on, though. Something crazy that I've been experiencing, and I don't know if you've been experiencing as well, but it's been spam calls. I've been getting some crazy spam calls, and I just block them, and I block them, and I block them. And my phone company had the nerve to ask me if I wanted to change my phone number. After all these years, how my friends gonna find me? I don't know. So if you have a suggestion, let me know what I need to do. I mean, somebody texted me today talking about, so I've been thinking about you. I don't know you. I don't even know this area code. Knock it off. Block. Anyway, let's get started for tonight, y'all. Again, if you have some suggestions about those calls and texts, let me know. But here we go. I digress. Let me tell you about my guest tonight, okay? I met Jay Spaight, tonight's guest, many moons ago here in the city of Las Vegas. I was his children's director for the LPC, or Little People's Choir, at a community event created by Jocelyn Oates called Citywide. This devoted dad always brought the kiddos to rehearsal on time, and, we developed a good friendship. He's a family man, musician, and Jay is pretty cool. He's a cool guy. Jay always hopes to bring a positive light to his community and keep showing up to do charitable work year after year to show just how much he cares. Tonight, you're going to hear a conversation between two old friends. So settle in and let's go. Get ready for Jay Spaight. You're watching Talented Thursdays.
I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got. The talent that we have, it's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side. Every foot alive. Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Put your hands together out there. Or, give a little drum beat, y'all. Brrr, for Mr. Jay Spaight. What's up, Jay?
Yo, what's going on?
I'm so glad to see you. I call you Spaighty. They call you Jay Spaight out there, but I call you Spaighty because we've been friends for a minute, right?
That's correct. A
Yeah,
long minute. A long
a,
minute.
a long minute, a long minute. Now, before we get started, Jay, there's something that we gotta there's something we gotta squash tonight before
Here we
the
go.
people, okay? Because now we
Here
have
we go.
some witnesses, okay?
Here we go.
So way back in I want to say 2016, I
Tag your,
released what you say?
tag your manager, the person that
Tag
called me.
my manager.
Yeah, the one that called me. Yes.
Let me tell the story, Jay. Way back in 2016, y'all, there was a concert that I put on. I released a single called "Where Would I Be," and Jay was one of my musicians. He is a drummer. I didn't say that in the beginning, but that's why I said make your drum beats because the drummer coming in the room, y'all. Okay. So Jay was my drummer. And during rehearsals and all of these things, it can get kind of hectic for concerts. And something happened. What happened, Jay?
Well, first off, you didn't just hire me as the drummer. You hired me as your MD.
Okay.
Let's,
Okay.
let's start there. That's a very important role to have when you're hired.
Yes. Straighten me out, Jay. And
Yeah.
then what happened?
And then he fired me.
Now that's the part, y'all, that I'm talking about. Me and Jay have been going back and forth for years because he says that I fired him.
Yeah.
I didn't actually fire him. I had a whole team of people, and someone had to let him go. I'm not sure. But Jay, I've apologized over the years. I ask you tonight in front of the whole world, please stop introducing me as the friend that fired you. Okay.
Yeah, I told my mom on you.
I wanted to tell y'all that he did tell his mom on me. When I first met his mom, he said, "Mom, this is the girl that fired me." I
And
can't take
let's be clear. You didn't fire me for a lack of talent. You fired me because of disagreement that we had, and I didn't agree with everything that you were trying to do. So let's clear that up.
Well, let's say that I was the artist at the time, and so if we weren't agreeing, you had to go. It's all right. It's all right, though, Jay. It's nothing but love between us now. I just thought we'd squash it.
This is 10 years later. So we good.
Yes, it is. We good. We are good. Thank
Well,
you for coming to the show. I thought I'd start on a funny note because we are friends. And like I told everyone in the beginning, it's just going to be a conversation between friends tonight. I wanted to bring you on not only because you're talented, but you have something to share with the Las Vegas community and with the world, So that's why you're here tonight. So we're going to get started, okay? So you're a Las Vegas native. Growing up, where was your favorite spot to listen to music? And where's your favorite spot today?
ooh, that's a great question.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, favorite place. I'm gonna go back to maybe 2003.
Okay.
It was at Mandalay Bay. They had a lounge there.
Okay.
And this lady by the name of Patty Janora. She was very active on the strip, and of course, church musicians were heavily employed by her.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, my shout out my god sister Crystal, and shout out my guy Damian Hall. So he was the drummer. She sang background for her. And shout out Adrian Riley. So I would go there consistently, go chop it up with them, and just enjoy and soak up a lot of great music.
Beautiful. And then where's one of your favorite spots today? Where do you go and get your live music fullness from? Where do you get fueled?
It's hit and miss because I'm not really outside like that. If I do go listen to live music, it's normally at like Mariposa with Ken Young and the nephews.
Okay, good spot.
Yes, it's a lot of great talent over there.
Yes,
Check them out on Friday nights. They're really dope.
Okay, I haven't been on a Friday. I've been for a birthday, and I've been when I've had friends come into town. And I definitely know everybody in the city. If you don't know who Ken Young is by now,
Right,
you've been under a rock. Ken
right.
Young is not only did he work for the police department forever, but he's one of the greater entertainers here in the city
Mhm.
of Las Vegas. He's going to give you a show, and all the musicians that are with him are going to give you a show.
His, his
Absolutely.
his resume is long, man. It started with the Sons of Soul or
Yes.
Sons of Thunder, something like that.
Tons of soul, I believe. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll
Okay.
go, we'll go with that.
Yes. Sons of soul. Yes. Yes, indeed. I have Kim McGee Davis watching from Washington State. She is one of the faithful ones that tunes in. Hi, Kim. Thank you so much for watching tonight. Definitely, definitely. So yeah, I mean, Mariposa said that is a good spot. So shout out to Devin and his team over there who are doing a great job.
Well,
Definitely.
there's tons of places where you can check out live music. You can go to Cork and Thorn. They have live stuff. I believe Richie Lewis plays over there with, I can't think of her name. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about too. Adam,
Richie, I know
Adam,
Richie.
Adam.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Yes, a lot of great spots here in Vegas. So for those of you who are listening, you just got to tap into the community. There are a lot of good places where the musicians are hitting, and we mean hitting for real. As a matter of fact, we have one watching right now who is Mr. Ronnie Thomas in the building. Ronnie, thank you for watching. He said, "Hey y'all, hey Ronnie." One of
that's
the
my
baddest drummers in Las Vegas as well. So we appreciate you tapping in.
that's my guy, man. Ronnie, my guy.
Yes. So Jay, tell me, you started playing drums around 10 years old. Who were your influences when you first picked up your first pair of drumsticks? Who influenced you to go ahead and get on the drums?
Um, Terry Wesley, of course. A guy by the name of Donnell Horn. Um, D. Dan Thomas. Harold Burney. Harold actually had a choir here called Friends of Gospel.
Yes.
Yeah. Harold was a short guy, man, and he was
Harold was
definitely,
directing back in the day. I remember when
yeah,
I
we call him
first got to
little Kirk Franklin, but he started off behind the drum set at Victory, and I learned a lot. I soaked up a lot. Now, if I go um, professional wise, and I would go with this guy named Dave Weckel
Okay.
and Dennis Chambers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. And so when you pick those drums up, those sticks up at age 10, what was that journey like for you from then, to today? What is it like just being a drummer?
Um, if I go from the beginning, I don't know how much time we got, but I'll cut it in half. Um,
Okay.
I started off in the choir like most drummers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was, young lad, and I thought that I was ready. So I would always sneak from the choir to where the drums was just to learn what I can learn from the guy that was there. I would I did not have a drum lesson, but it came to me very fluent. It came
Okay.
like I've been playing my entire life. And that's pretty much how it's been to 45. From age 10 to 45 is just listening by ear, um, just studying different drummers, learning what to do, what not to do, placement, all that stuff. Now,
Right.
when you're a teenager, a teenage drummer, you're trying to put everything into one song, and
You
that's
got
a
drum rolls, cymbals, everything going, right?
that's the fastest way to get kicked off the drums, for real. Shout out David Blakely, man.
Don't tell me David kicked you off the drums, Jay.
Oh man, but the thing is, David is for sure a legend, right?
Yes, he is.
And you cannot come and sit in with him and thinking that you're going to do what you want to do. No, you're going to do exactly what you're supposed to do, and that's actually what your job is as a drummer, is to lock in that pocket and not to take over the song or whatever it is.
Absolutely. And then that's the good thing about being a musician, to be a humble musician, because in any arena, there's always someone who's greater, that those are the mentors and the people that we learn from. So, if you're working with someone like a David Blakely, or if you're working, with someone, that's great in the city, basically, or just great, period. You want to be able to listen to them and glean from them. So, as a drummer, you are the heartbeat of any, gig, worship service, all of those things. You're the heartbeat. Put your hands up. That's right. So, with that being said, for those who may not be a musician, is rhythm something that you can honestly be taught? Are you born with it? Or is it something that you can actually, it can be taught to you?
You know what's crazy is I know how to dance, but I don't know how to dance, and that's the running joke is how can you be a drummer?
Uh-huh.
You have to have rhythm, and you can't dance, and it's
Wow.
it's a
So,
catch
to a certain point to you.
I can get a nice little two step in every now and again.
Got you.
Yeah. But what many people don't know is that I do have a very shy side to me, and so I don't like people looking at me if I'm dancing or doing whatever.
Okay, okay.
Behind the drums is totally different.
You get to shine in that place.
Yeah, that's my comfort zone.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good, Jay. I'm gonna jump over to the comments. I'm gonna go back to Ronnie. Ronnie said, "I love y'all. Kim, you're too kind." Ronnie, is true. You are definitely one of the best drummers in Vegas. Absolutely, hands down. And we love you too. I have my sister watching from Arizona. She said, "Hey, this is Chanel, tuned in my Uber ride." That's love. She in the Uber and watching. You know what I'm saying? She tapped in. Nobody like my little sister. I love you, Nelly. Also, I have Justin Smith, one of the owners of Vegas Praise Radio. He is tapped in tonight. So I'm excited. He said, "Hey, Kimberly, I made it tonight." Woohoo! Thank you, Justin. Thank you for watching for sure. Now, Jay, you said that being behind the drums is kind of like your spot. Wait a minute, I got one more comment, which is a cousin of mine tuned in from the A. I'm feeling the love tonight, Jay. You bringing them out, bring them out, bring them out. Hey. You bringing them out. I want to say hello to my cousin Denise in Atlanta. Thank you all so much for watching. Yes, indeed. Now, with that being said, again, you said that the drums, being behind the drums is your place, basically where you feel free. And it kind of leads into my next question, because playing an instrument can be therapeutic, right? So people sometimes come up with their best music or songs when they're going through a trying time in life. Okay. So, what are some of the hurdles that you've overcome in life that music, or even, your drumming or music, has helped you get through?
Oh, we going deep. No Diddy.
Let's go. Let's go, Jay.
We're going deep. So there's three go-to albums that really clears my mind and get me out of certain headspaces, and it depends. It depends. So if I'm like really, really, really going through it, spiritually,
Mm-hmm.
my go-to is man, there's so many albums. Kim Burrell.
Okay. Okay.
I'm going to tell you which album it is. Um,
Look, I'm gonna be like they in church. Take your time, baby. Take
Ever,
your time.
Everlasting Life. It's between that
Okay.
and a good old Commission album.
Oh, Commission does it for me every time. Every time. Absolutely.
If I need to get that good cry out in the truck by myself, I'll put on Commission.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then tell me what those albums do for you. Is it the lyrics? Is it the music? Is it everything in between? What is it that brings you that cleansing that sometimes only music can give when we're in a certain space?
With Commission, it's the lyrics. Like, I'm running back to you. I failed time and time again, but I know for a fact these aren't the words, but this is what I got from that song. But knowing that God is still there, even though I done messed up 11 times, and the option to know that I can still run back to God is awesome.
Absolutely. Running Back to You is such a beautiful song, you know. Yeah, when he talks about, running back to you, I see you standing there for me. Your arms are open wide, and that is something that's so pure, and so those lyrics, it's something that someone could say to you, but it's something about that moves the spirit when you hear it in song, because the song, the melody, the everything just comes together to minister to the heart, and so like I said, there are times when people can't reach us in a place where friends can't do it, where even you trying to figure it out can't figure it out, but sometimes you can hear a song and that song says exactly what you needed to say at that moment,
For sure.
Yes, indeed. So, Jay, I want the people to be able to see you play a bit, talented television and talented Thursdays.
Yeah.
It's all about the talent and the person behind the talent. I created this show to inspire and also entertain others. So, a lot of times we get to see the artist, but we don't get to know the person or the heart behind the artist. And I think that that's important as well. Sometimes we have like you said, we have people that we enjoy. For instance, you said Kimberly or Commissioned or whoever our favorite artist is. And all we get to hear a lot of times is their music. But I feel that it's important to know, who is Jay Spaight? People may hear your name around the city. People may see you playing, but who are you really? And so tonight they get to dig in and kind of see the heart behind the man. So let me play a portion of this song where you were drumming. You want to set it up for me?
Sure. What, like location type stuff?
Sure.
So it was a jazz night at a place called Sugar Daddy's. That was a cigar lounge in Vegas, and I got a few of my friends together, and we improvised and we changed some things up. And this one, I believe you got is Rule the World, maybe?
Yes, everybody wants to rule the world. Absolutely. Okay, so everybody, you got something else to say before I kick to it?
That version is actually from RJ.
RJ, and The Assignment?
Yes.
Okay, Reggie Johnston and The Assignment, which is another awesome musician here in Las Vegas, and their and his band. So here is the rendition of the 80s song, because it was back in the 80s, but who don't like this song? Everybody wants to rule the world. Jay Spaight on drums, y'all. Here it is. indeed. Give it up for Jay Spaight out there, y'all. Okay, Jay, we see you.
Yeah.
So tell me about the band that night. Who was on keys, all of that?
Keys, you had Matt Banks, which was another gentleman that you had hired for your.
Jay, we not going back to the top of this show. Jay, we not going back to the top of this show, you know. Just reel it on back to the present. Go ahead.
You had my guy Dior, saxophone player.
Okay.
You have Jason Bolden on bass.
Nice.
And you had Naisha LaFay that was on the vocals.
Very nice. Nice. You all did a good job. Definitely. I have Katrina Whitehurst watching from, let's see. That's Chanel, actually. Whoop, whoop. She said that was incredible. That was incredible. Katrina said, hey, y'all. She's watching from Washington. And Justin Smith said, that boy good. That boy good.
He's from Vegas, right? Justin Smith?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
He's a worship leader at
Justin Smith is a hip-hop artist.
Oh, dope.
Yes, indeed. So, yes. Thank you all again for watching. You are tapped in tonight with myself, your girl, Kimberly Eichelle, as well as Mr. Jay Spaight. So thank you all for watching on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and listening in on Vegas Praise Radio. Now, listen, Jay, you have something special coming up. Another reason I brought you in tonight, you know, because I wanted to be a friend and make sure that the city knows what's going on. Okay.
First, I do want to say thank you so much for having me on. It means so much to be on your platform. I see you doing great things, and I'm super proud of you. Thank you for having me on here.
Oh, thank you, Jay. I appreciate that. That means a lot. For real, for real. All jokes aside, thank you so much. Absolutely. So you have your 8th annual Ministers and Musicians Charity Basketball game coming up. I should say games because it's 2 games. You got the ladies playing first, and then you have the gentlemen. You're bringing together the ministers and musicians around Las Vegas. There are going to be vendors, live entertainment, DJs, a DJ, I should say, and those who are, it's for those who are currently fighting and are survivors of breast cancer. So again, this is your 8th annual event. What was the inspiration behind you starting the musicians and ministers basketball game or charity game?
So it started off as a joke between myself and the guy named Minister Chris Lauer. And it turned from, well, musicians can't come together, you know, enough in service. How can you guys come together and win a basketball game? You know, you guys can't. Most ministers are out of shape and, you know, just waiting for that piece of chicken after Sunday service.
So y'all was clowning basically.
Yeah, it started off as a joke 8 years ago. So I challenged him. I said, get your best 7 players. I get my best 7 players, and we're gonna make this happen. And the very first game was at a Mormon church.
Okay.
It was at a Mormon church, and we had T-shirts, like tank tops. Like we didn't have uniforms or anything like that. It was really So the musicians were up like maybe 20 points. By 4th quarter, we melt. We have a breakdown. The musicians, like, we just not on the same page, right?
Right.
Ministers cut the game down to maybe 3 or 4 points by the end of the 4th.
Oh, y'all was scared then. Y'all talked about them being the chicken, you know, eating the chicken after church, but they caught up with you. They showed you they had no joke.
So what's important in sports and church and whatever it is, you have to find a way, whatever the issues are, find a way to get on the same page, right?
Yeah.
So if anybody's, you know, in ministry that's a musician or a minister, we all know that there has been a consistent division between the pastor and the musician.
Okay.
And to have a functioning ministry, those are I want to say the two most important, but everybody's important. But you definitely the two have to be on the same page in order to have a.
Well, you're the two that are most out front. If the musicians are not on one accord, I mean, you all are, like I said at the beginning, part of the heartbeat of anything, and then of course, if the ministers are not on one accord, you got a whole mess that's going on. So I like that aspect of it, of you bringing together those two groups. But what made it important for you to turn it into a charity event for those who are either struggling or survivors of breast cancer?
So I have a god sister that got breast cancer at a really early age. Shortly after she had her first kid, and she's still here. She's a survivor. I want to say she's maybe 15, 16 years strong of fighting it.
That's a blessing.
The decision for us to not just have a game, but let's put something behind it. Let's create a charity behind it. And so, because breast cancer is running rapid with our Black women, we said let's stick with that. And not only that, but it's a lot of people who I know personally that has passed away or is still fighting the fight of surviving breast cancer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, for the charity event, that you do each year. I know that you raise funds and that you give back to those who are actually, going through. And like you said, survivors, you give to both, which is a blessing because these people are being remembered and thought of, and if they're in the middle of going through therapy and things like that, to have a game that they can come out to where they are celebrated and can have a good time, laugh, because I know when I went to the game last time, I was laughing. It was very entertaining, seeing y'all running up and down the court. And it's a serious game. It's like, it's not for play. It's for real, because I saw the faces. Y'all was getting toe up in the face. I say, oh, they for real. They want to win. So it's a good game for those of you that are watching. Let them know what date the game is and where it's going to be held this year.
The game is October 5th, next Saturday at Chuck Minker Sports Complex, Las Vegas, Nevada. It's right off of Stewart and Mojave. We do have the flyer. First game starts at 11 for the ladies. And then we have the men's game at 12:15, 12:30.
Okay.
So it's amazing, year 8, just watching where it started and how it blossomed. And it went from the first game, there was no seats, there was no bleachers, there was no chairs. Everybody just standing. And to me, that's top list because that's what everybody's fellowshipping. Everybody's cool. Everybody loving on each other, which is
right.
Which is what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to love on each other. We're supposed to fellowship. And to me, because we were all in the same spot and nobody had chairs, we had to talk to each other.
We had to converse. Yes.
So but now
go ahead, Jay.
So now we have and we still fellowship and things are still fun. We've never had any issues and nothing like that. No fights. It's all love when you walk in the building. Like we for real pray before people come in the building, just for safety, just for God's presence to be in there, not being too deep. But that's what I've been taught to do.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing. A great thing. You know what I like about the game and that this is your 8th year is the fact that you had to start. A lot of times we have vision. And again, just to inspire someone out there, a lot of times we have visions to do things and we're afraid to start it, But like you said, you started at a church. There were no seats. Y'all was in tank tops, And you like, look at me now. You know, you guys got whole uniforms now. They be out there fly, y'all. They shoes, their jerseys, their shorts. I'm like, okay, that's clean out there. So, you know, that's just to encourage someone who may be watching that the way you start is not the way that it has to be at the end, or you know, moving forward. Each year should grow, and that's the same thing that happened to me when I started Talented Television. I was nervous. I had equipment, you all, to do this show probably for 2 or 3 years. I'm not even telling you a tale. And finally I saw a video on YouTube where they said, just do it, just start. And I looked at their beginning and I said, Kim, you have so much more than they even had in the beginning, plus the training behind it. So just start. You'll never know how far you can go if you don't do it. So thank you for diving in where you saw a need, and not only bringing together, you know, the musicians and the ministers, but also supporting those who are going through, you know, a disease or a survivor of that. So I appreciate that. We're gonna move forward. I know that you enjoy working with and inspiring youth, right? So just between conversations and things that we've had. And so on social media a lot lately, I've seen where they bring together all these children, like male, female, you know, youth, and they have like drum pads and they're teaching them drumming and things like that. Is that something that we have in Vegas? Because I'm not sure. And if not, would that be something that you are interested in doing, maybe to do even more in your community?
I do believe that it's important that we go back to the youth, because we're the yesterday. We have to train up the now, the 7-year-old, 8-year-old, and it actually is being done. And I'm plugging all my guys in Vegas. Shout out to my guy Armani Lowry. He just did a conference for his church, him and his wife, and I enjoyed watching what I saw.
Good.
Because as a young drummer, I was sitting next to the drums and I'm going to different places and I'm just soaking up all the energy. But this generation, man, these kids are absolutely amazing. Like they have so many different resources to become better. They have YouTube. They have, like, we didn't have that growing up. Like, I had a videotape, a VHS tape.
That you had to keep rewinding. Rewind.
I had a VHS tape of Dave Weckl and Dennis Chambers. And when I got to high school, Chris Daddy Dave, I don't know if you know who that is, but he started with Mint Condition.
Okay.
And he evolved to like crazy limits. But I recorded when they were on, it was a show on BET. And they did every classic that Mint Condition had, but he was able to put his own flavor, right? But that was on VHS. Right now, it's at a click of a button, and they can pull up any video they need.
Yes, I'm laughing, Jay, because, you know, once we start talking about VHS and cassette tapes and all, you know, we telling our age. The young people nowadays, they don't know what it's like to record something off of BET. You know, you stick that videotape in and have to press record, and then you don't want to record the commercial, so you're jumping up and down the pause and all that stuff. Yes, right. Indeed. But I wouldn't change that time for the world, you know. No. Just growing up, I think it made us tougher. We had a really good childhood, you know, just coming up in that day and time, the 80s, 90s, you know, was a great time. 2000s, early 2000s, I should say, was a great time, you know, so I wouldn't change my experience for nothing.
Never.
Yes, indeed. Now, Jay, listen, if you had to pick, and I know this is going to be hard, but, you know, you got to do it, okay? So I'm going to ask you to pick two, and maybe I'll give you three, but two of your top favorite drummers. Who would you say they are?
Calvin Rogers,
Okay.
Chris Dave, Terry Wesley.
Okay.
In
All
that
right.
in that order.
In that order.
Yeah.
All righty. All righty. Tell me a little bit about why they're your favorite drummers.
They've been consistent.
Mm.
They've been consistent, and like we just said, we know that the younger generation, they're coming up behind us, and they're taking our jobs. But to be consistent in the industry means everything.
Absolutely.
And not only that, but your character means a lot as well. So that's why they've been able to be consistent for 20 years in the music industry, 30 years, playing for different artists, that type of thing. So yeah, that's a no-brainer right there. I can sit and watch them play for hours because I know I'll learn something. Either it's placement, whether it's paradiddles and where to put certain things. Oh yeah.
Okay, drummer vocabulary paradiddles. I hear you. I hear you out there.
Yeah.
And the only one that I can say that I know honestly, and even personally, would be Terry Wesley.
Mm-hmm.
And Terry, he's excellent, first of all, at his craft, and he's humble. I have always loved Terry because he's just cool and down to earth. Out of all the things that he's done, the big artists that he's worked with, he's still Terry when you see him. And so that's a beautiful thing. So shout out to Terry Wesley. I remember when I dropped Where Would I Be, and I had a performance that I had to do, or an engagement that I had to do. Terry actually filled in for one of the events. And so I'm just, trying to give everybody a little love offering at the end. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for playing. I ain't got a lot, but I wanted to give something. And I remember Terry putting that right back in my hand, like, you good. You know what I'm saying? And so those are the things that you never forget, because he didn't have to do that. He could have took it just like everybody else, and gone on. But thank you, Terry, just for being, humble and, like he said, consistent. And he's always himself, wherever he goes. So I think those are, Terry is definitely a great artist to look up to. Now, I'm gonna ask you one more little serious question, and then I want to play a game right quick. Okay, so we don't have a whole lot of time left, but let me ask you the serious question first. So, Jay, I'm gonna ask you, what would you say has been one of your life's biggest accomplishments thus far? I'm gonna give you time to think. He's thinking out there in radio land. Y'all can't see him, but he's thinking about this question.
I would say being a father. Being able to be an example for my kids and be a man that didn't mind getting his hands dirty. So before getting married, I was a single parent. So a lot of the stuff that I learned as a parent, I learned through trial and error.
Okay.
So when us as older people, we go back to our parents and like, Ma, you was right. Like,
okay. You gotta humble yourself and go on back, right? Shout out to your mom as well.
Yeah. You have to go back and just tell mom, like, yo, you made it look easy. You made it look like it was like, yeah, but there was some nights I was like, God, like for real. Like this what we on. So to be able to watch my kids blossom and grow up to be young adults, and like you said in the beginning of it, I had them at Citywide, and I know for a fact my baby boy didn't want to be there, but if one of them was gonna be there, they all was gonna be there.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
just watching them accomplish certain goals and what like not seeing them in trouble, like that's huge to me. And I probably don't say that to them enough, but just watching them in this generation where it's so corrupt and it's so like crazy, um, they still have a reverence for God. They still are respectful. Of course, they're gonna do knucklehead stuff, right? But
Right, right.
to see them like grow into the young adults they are right now, man, that means that's an accomplishment for me because um, I didn't have a father in the crib, so that's why it's kind of like, okay, well, I did what my father couldn't do or what he didn't do. So yeah,
Mhm. That's good. And I could see that you feel that thing. You know what I'm saying? And so it's always good. Like you said, you may not voice it to them all the time, but tonight you took time to say that you're proud of them,
sure,
basically,
sure.
you know, and then proud of yourself for being that dad that's stuck in there because there are so many men that don't, they walk away, especially when that's been the example for their home. Like you said, growing up without a father, that was your example. So you
Right.
could have walked away, but to stay in there and make sure that your children were good and that they have a solid foundation, that's a pretty cool accomplishment. I love it. I love it. Great answer. Great answer. You
Appreciate
ready
it.
for this game?
Let's get it
Let's go. Let's go. All right. We just gonna do this fast. Top favorite gospel song to play.
right now.
Yep. Boom. Chicka boom. 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 Think, Jay. It's supposed to be fast. Give me the fast. Come on.
Man, I told you like right now I'm on my Vegas love kick right now. So I'm going to say "Amazing" by Amplified Worship,
Okay. Amazing by Amplified Worship.
and it's
Shout out to Armani and Kim Lowry for
yeah, but
sure.
it's a close second with the greatest with "Gift of Youth with Purpose." So
Okay.
it's
Okay. There it
it's
is. Ronnie Thomas as
yeah,
well. So okay, you got two. You got two favorite songs that's
yeah,
going right now. And you rep in Vegas. So that's a good thing. Repping your
for sure.
hometown. You got
Right.
that that football stuff on tonight too, but we'll talk about that later. Favorite flavor of ice cream.
Sherbet, Rainbow Sherbet,
Sherbet. Rainbow?
Rainbow Sherbet. Yeah,
Okay, okay. Little sweet, but it's good. It's good. I like it.
yeah.
As a drummer, with your drummer ears, who had the best old school TV theme song? Was it the Jeffersons, Different Strokes, or Good Times?
I'm gonna say the Jeffersons.
Man, that Jeffersons was hitting, wasn't it?
I'm gonna say the Jeffersons. They had a nice little groove to them.
They did. They did. They were all good songs, but the Jeffersons just had you like, yeah, they had you clapping. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Jay, thank you so much for being with me tonight. This has been an awesome experience to have you here. If you had a word of encouragement to tell someone tonight, what would your word of encouragement be? Now, I'm going to tell you, like they say in church, take your time. But
Take
then
your
I'm going to
time.
add mine. Take your time and hurry up. We got a few minutes, a few minutes.
I am going to say to keep stay the course, keep grinding.
Mm,
As frustrating as it may be, as irritating as it may be, as tiring as it may be, stay the
come
course.
on.
Remember that God got you, and God gave you the vision. He gave you the blueprint on how to get it, and He never said it was going to be easy. He never said that
Ooh,
it would be a breeze. But in spite of you still have to stay the course and trust God and trust the process.
Jay, that word was for me. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
If the people that are watching only knew what I'm really going through right now, some days are not easy. But I talked to Jay earlier today and I said, look, Jay, I got some stuff on my plate right now, but we're going to have a good time tonight. And so,
Mhm.
in spite of everything that's on my shoulders right now, and kind of that I'm trying to process through, I want to make sure that I stay the course. God gave me talented television. And he gave me the idea for Talented Thursdays when I wasn't reaching enough people on Talented Television. I'm like, okay, they're not going over to check out the videos. Let me go live. I know people will tap in when you go live. So
Right.
I'm grateful for that. So thank you for saying stay the course, because even with everything, that I'm going through, and let me just say I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be all right. It's just a testing of my faith. And it's really something to strengthen me. You get what I'm saying? And
Right.
so in the end, I give all glory to God, for all of you who continue to tune in, who continue to drop by and have a conversation with me, who come to tell your story. To be vulnerable before a live audience is a lot. People think that it's easy, but it's not. You're telling your story to the world. Anybody could rewind and go hear this, 50, 11 dozen times, as people say.
Right.
And so thank you for being vulnerable tonight and sharing your story with us, and for what you're doing for the community. Before we go, I want to say in June, you have an event that you are working on, which is a men's mental. Well, June, first of all, is Men's Mental Health Month, and
Correct.
you are planning to put together a panel. So,
Correct.
with that being said, what are your hopes in presenting this panel to the community?
Man, I really want to go deep. I know you on the time frame, but one of the things that men aren't able to do is to be transparent about what they're really going through. So they bottle up a lot of stuff, and
Mhm.
society says it's not okay for you to show these emotions, or you're being sassy, or you're being less of a man because you're actually
Mm.
going through stuff mentally. Several things that men don't do. That we don't deal with trauma, and we don't go see therapists. And those are two things that we have to address in order to get the the healing that we need to be stand up men. It's cool if you make six figures in school, you got the house and the car, but you're mentally broken. You got to go get the help. You got to go get the help, because you can't help parent your kid, or be not so much successful, but be um,
Be the
effective,
best you. Be the best you.
and you dealing with so many different things.
Yeah.
And this is mainly for a lot of pastors too. A lot of pastors are going through trauma, and over the past years, a lot of pastors have killed themselves.
Yeah.
So we want to
Absolutely.
we want to avoid that from happening. And if we're watching the musician life, it's a lot of musicians who's passed away over the past 3 months too.
Yes. Absolutely.
So mental health is absolutely important for all of us. I've laid on the couch for sure.
Yeah.
So, but I look forward to June. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for what you're doing. Again, just for being transparent and trying to be a help to your community. Sometimes I think there are times where you feel misunderstood. There are times where you feel like you're not heard.
Right.
You feel like you're the rebel. We've had conversations, but underneath all of that, and besides all of that, you have a good heart and a genuine heart. And I know that you love God as well, and that you love people. So
Right.
keep doing what you're doing, Jay. Keep inspiring to be greater. Keep inspiring to go higher. Keep
Thank you.
touching lives, because it's each one, like they say, each one reach one. So if you reach one person and you keep them from hurting themselves, or you help them to get what they need out of life, you've done your job.
Yes.
So keep doing your job. If there are people who are watching who want to get in contact with you or want to follow you, tell them where they can follow you.
You can find me on Jay Spaight on Facebook. You can find me on Out of Bounds Outreach on Instagram and Facebook. Um, yeah, about the same. Can I one more shout out, one more plug?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to give a huge shout out to Wifey and my team that helps me get this event off every year. Shout out my little sister Shavariette, that's in Texas, and she works very hard from Texas to out here to finding sponsors. Thank you to my sponsors. Thank you to my vendors. If I don't get a chance to say it on next Saturday, I'm saying it right now. But I do appreciate my community coming out and doing their big one. But big shout out to the wife. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. We hear it. We hear it in your voice. We know that this is something that you're passionate about. So Las Vegas, make sure that you show up for Jay Spaight and the charity basketball game, Ministers versus Musicians. I'm telling y'all, y'all going to have a good time. It's a good time. Again, he has vendors, music, live entertainment, all these great things to support a great cause. Jay Spaight, we out of here. Thank you so much. Before we go, I wanted to say Katrina Whitehurst gave me a message. She said, stay encouraged, Kim. You're doing a great job. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for always tuning in. She's another artist that's getting ready to drop music out of Washington State. So you all be listening out for Katrina.
Nice.
Also, she said, enjoyed this tonight. Keep it up, Jay. She said, keep it up. Absolutely. I know y'all feel it's hard out there. I know you can hear it in his voice. You know, Jay don't get emotional a lot, but we tapped into those strings, those heartstrings tonight. So I'm feeling good. Thank you all again for watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Jay, we got a few seconds. Any last words?
Thank you again for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely. You got it. All right. We'll see you all next week. Thank you for watching Talented Thursdays. We'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.